Hello and welcome to Ms. Sessa's virtual classroom. So I'm just saying hi right now. Pretty soon you won't be able to see my face because we're going to be doing some things on the whiteboard. We're going to be doing some Punnett Squares. So I've given you access to the slides on Canvas so that you can follow along and have the examples in front of you so that you know what we're doing. But again, these should go in your notes, in your notebooks, and you should be doing them with me. So don't be a participant, be an active participant. And again, any questions you have, pause the video, write them down, and then on Tuesday we can go over any and all questions that you have about these Punnett Squares. You'll also have some practice problems to do as well, which I want to talk about on Tuesday. So it'll be really helpful if you've already done some of them so that you know where you're confused so that you can ask questions. Okay? Cool. All right, I'm going to tilt this down so you can see the whiteboard. Okay. And I'm starting on our slide that says Punnett Squares, used to predict the outcome probability of specific characteristics of offspring. Capital letters are used for dominant traits, so I did say that in the previous video. Lowercase letters are used for recessive traits, and then here I have not mentioned this, but you must be able to tell the difference between the two letters. So, for example, an uppercase P and a lowercase p look very similar. You need to do something to distinguish between the two. So maybe cursive versus non-cursive, or like an underline or something. Whatever it is, you need to be able, and I need to be able to distinguish between the two. Okay, our first practice problem. So this is the next slide with the peas. In pea plants, round peas are dominant over wrinkled peas. In your notebook, complete a Punnett square for a cross between a heterozygous round plant and a homozygous wrinkled plant. What are all the possible genotype, phenotypes, and probabilities of each? So basically, I want to know everything. I'm going to write down some stuff on our whiteboard. So we're saying a round pea is dominant over wrinkled pea. So round equals dominant. Okay. That's kind of hard to see. Okay. We always use the letter of the dominant trait as our gene letters. So here, what letter are we going to use? Hopefully you said R. Okay, so R is going to be our letter. But we said wrinkled peas are recessive. Okay. I like this down just for me. Maybe I can move this a little closer so that you can see it better. There you go. Hopefully you can see that better. Okay. And now we know we have a heterozygous plant and a homozygous wrinkled plant. Okay, so I'm going to write down heterozygous. And then homozygous wrinkled. Okay. Someone look back in their notes and tell us, what does heterozygous mean? I'll give you some time, or you can pause the video. What does heterozygous mean? Right? You need to use your notes. I don't expect you to have memorized this yet, but you will have to memorize these. But again, we know hetero means different. So, two different alleles. Homozygous means the same. So we know that we have homozygous wrinkled. We have two alleles that are wrinkled. Wrinkled, is it dominant or recessive? Put it up here. It is recessive. Okay. Recessive is lowercase. Dominant is uppercase. Okay. You should have that somewhere in your notes so that you know. Okay, so now we'll have a Punnett square. Punnett square just looks like this. Okay. Up here, we have parent number 1, genotype. Right? That's our genes. Over here, we'll put parent number 2, genotype. Okay. Our first one was heterozygous. What does that mean? Okay. Heterozygous means 2 different alleles. So we have a capital R and a lowercase r. Okay. Then for parent number 2, we said they were homozygous wrinkled, which is recessive. Recessive is lowercase, okay? Wrinkled. So we're going to have little r, little r. Okay? Now we just cross these, okay? So we bring down this r. We always put the uppercase letter in the front. So we're going to have uppercase r, lowercase r. Bring this down again, because it's in the same box. Uppercase R, bring this one over. Lowercase r. Now in this box, we have lowercase r, lowercase r. Here we have lowercase r, bring it over, lowercase r. Does everyone see how I got that? I'm just taking these letters, putting them in the first box here, and then taking these letters and putting them in the subsequent boxes here. Here, these 2 go here. These 2 go here. It's sort of like how we read our codon chart, right? We had to make sure we were in the same column. All right, now we need to know the percentage of the genotypes and the phenotypes. Someone tell me one genotype that we have here. Hopefully you've whispered it or you figured it out. Pause the video so that you know what a genotype is. What is a genotype? Use your notes, right? We have to use our notes. So here the genotypes are just the letters. So for our offspring, this is our offspring. We have 2 different genotypes that we could get. We can get uppercase R, lowercase r. Or we can get lowercase r, lowercase r. What percentage would be uppercase r, lowercase r? What's our probability? How many outcomes we have? We have 4 outcomes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 out of 4 are going to be uppercase R, uppercase R. What is that in probability? 2 out of 4. That's our 50%. That means our lowercase r, right, is 2 out of 4, is also 50%. Okay. Now what about our phenotypes? Someone remind us, what is a phenotype? You need to look back in your notes. Did you find it? I hope so. Phenotype means physical appearance. So these P's that are uppercase R, lowercase r, right, they have a dominant trait, so this one is the one that's expressed. They have 1 round and 1 wrinkled allele. Because round is dominant, they're going to look round. So here, the phenotype is round. Here we have 2 little r's, so it has to be whatever this is. Little r is recessive. We said recessive was wrinkled, so here these are going to look wrinkled. So this is our phenotype. Okay, down here, these are our genotypes. Okay? So far, so good. If you don't understand that, maybe pause it, go back. I'm going to go get some paper towels. Okay, and we're going to do our second example. I'll keep our Punnett Square box because we'll use it again. All right, I'll keep some labels. Okay, we're going to go on to our next example. If you want to try that example on your own first, that could be a perfect time right now to pause this video and see if you did it correctly, right? Maybe try it on your own, come back, and we'll see if you got it correct. So I'm going to move on, but again, feel free to pause if you need to. So our second practice problem says, in a rare breed of magical unicorns, purple horns are dominant over rainbow-colored horns. For a cross between two heterozygous purple-horned unicorns, what are all the possible genotypes, phenotypes each? Okay, I'm going to start as we do for all of them. What is dominant? What is recessive? Okay, read the practice problem. Someone tell me what is dominant in this problem. So the first sentence says purple horns are dominant. Okay, so I'm going to write here purple equals dominant. Okay, that means we're going to use a P for our genotypes. Okay, this is where you might need to use some cursive. Okay, we said rainbow is recessive. Okay. Now it's saying heterozygous purple-horned unicorns. Okay, what does heterozygous mean? Look back in your notes. What does heterozygous mean? So hetero means different. Okay, so we have two different alleles. Okay. Both parents are heteros. So we're going to have one capital P, one lowercase p. Okay, they have to look different. These letters have to look different. So first one, capital P. Second one, lowercase p, I'm doing in cursive. Capital P, lowercase p in cursive. Heterozygous, two different alleles. Now we just bring them down here, okay? Do this on your own. Pause if you need to. See if you got it right in a second. So I'm going to bring these down. We get P, capital P, capital P. Here we have one capital P, bringing it down, one lowercase p. Again, this is where you need to make sure you have cursive. Over here, one capital P, one lowercase p. And then if we bring these two down, two lowercase p's. Okay? So now we have to figure out genotypes and phenotypes. Let's start with genotypes. And I'm going to erase this right here. You know that's the parent gene. Someone tell me one genotype that we have. What is a genotype? Look back at your notes. It's a gene. What is a gene? I'm asking for the letters. What are the letters we have? So hopefully someone said we have uppercase P and lowercase p. Uppercase P, lowercase p. Absolutely, that's a genotype. Okay, it's another genotype. Maybe you said uppercase P, uppercase p. Absolutely, we have that right here. What's the last one we have? It's right here. Okay, two lowercase p's. These are our genotypes. But I want to know the percentages of each. Okay, what's our percentage of uppercase P, uppercase p? We only have one box. So here has to be 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4 in a percentage is 25%. What about uppercase P, lowercase p? Here, these are the only ones that we have. We have 2 out of 4. Okay, that's 50%. And lowercase p, Only 25%, 1 out of 4. Okay, that's our percentages of genotypes. Now, what are the phenotypes? What do they physically look like? Okay, so if we have uppercase P, the only allele they have is purple. Okay, so this is going to look purple. Here, right, we have one purple, one rainbow, but purple is dominant. So here we're going to see purple as well, right? They have the rainbow allele, but it's hidden. Okay. And here, the only allele they have is rainbow, lowercase and lowercase p. So it's 25% rainbow. But here we see 75% are going to be purple. Okay, so that's how we do Punnett squares. I'm going to give you practice problems that I would like you to attempt before Tuesday. We will talk about those examples when I see you on Tuesday, other questions that you have. So the last thing I want to say is just, again, the last slide here. If I ask for genotypes, think about what letters represent recessive, what letters represent dominant. So uppercase versus lowercase. Okay. Again, I can link some other videos if this was still confusing for you. Just let me know and get ready with all the questions that you have so that I can answer them on Tuesday. Y'all, and I'll see you in a few days. All right, bye.